So welcome to the Camo Matrix Podcast and vlog number 3. First of all, I'd like to thank you for watching. The views and comments help inspire me to make better videos that compares camouflage for hunting in a non-biased format. So I appreciate you watching. Since my last posting, I've been pushing out new videos with improved simulated deer vision. Those updates are also on the Camo Matrix tool now, and they include that same type of deer vision change. There's also been some additional patterns that have been added to the Camo Matrix and also to the Camo Showdowns, and I've started taking submitted photos so that I can begin showing you how a deer may see you. So this will allow us to view camo patterns in the real world, since I just can't seem to buy them all. I'd also like to mention that Hotshot Gear might be sending me both the Ghillie and the 3D Leafy suit so that we can do some real world comparisons of those in the deer woods. That should make some interesting videos, and we'll also apply that deer vision to that. And I've got some interesting things coming up in the future that hopefully turn out to be pretty cool. And for those of you that are looking to squash the smells that give us away and basically make our camo useless, Ozonics is having a $100 off sale on their new the HR500 unit until this Sunday. And so this Sunday would be August 28th, 2022. So if you're curious about scent elimination, check them out. The link will be above in the description here. We'll have it up here and also down below. I was just informed about this yesterday, so you'll have to hurry if you want to save that $100 and you've already been interested in scent elimination. So as far as the additions go, the Camo Matrix and the Camo Showdowns have had some pattern additions to them. One of them would be Code of Silence S18. These guys are out of Nebraska, I believe. And it's designed to be in the trees, but it looks like it's a really warm camo, and they've got some for different stages of the hunting season. New View Hunting has 2 patterns that I've included in both the Matrix and the Showdown. One is the Woods Camo, and also it's called All Around Camo. Woods Camo is more of an outline breakup, and All Around it seems like it's a dark green camo. So there'll be something that you can check out. The patterns right now only seem to be available in jackets, those particular patterns, and I've reached out to them to see if the pants are going to be available to their consumers. So I'll let you know when that happens. Another camo pattern would be WTF Camo, or Whitetail Forensics Camo. They're not added in yet because I'm waiting for the company to send me some photos of the camo patterns, and they'll be added soon. So I'm kind of excited about it. They've done some extensive research to develop their pattern, so it should be a pretty cool thing to have in the lineup. They're already listed in my camo list that I'll share for you here in a minute, but they are not in the Showdown or the Matrix just yet, but they will be soon. One-Rate Gear is another addition to the camo pattern list that we've got. It's on the Matrix and also on the Showdown videos. I'm impressed with how this pattern looks. It seems to have this chameleon type effect to it, so it's something to check out. And Exotics or Exotic Camo and Fishing have a pattern called HD and OG that you can check out also in the Matrix and on the Camo Showdown. So I've got those out there. And you can find all these patterns on the plus almost 100 plus patterns on camomatrix.com/huntingcamo. And that link's also up here. You can check out all those. There's a huge list of camo and camo companies that you can check out. Do have an update on Asio Gear. They, for years, they've just been giving you the Raptor Camo pattern, which is their own pattern, but now they've started to add in a number of different items from that has the pattern Mossy Oaks element, the Terra Gila pattern. So if you're looking for a different pattern, but you like Asio, then you've got some other things that you can check out with them. In addition to that, I want to say that some of the brands that I have affiliates with, and where I get credit if you buy through them. And others are just direct links. So I'm not trying to just narrow you down to these patterns that I would make money off of if you purchase them, but what I'm trying to do is just give you this broadest range of camo so that you can make the best choice for what you want. I'm not going to try to pigeonhole you into one area. So you can take a look at my videos, you can read other reviews, and go out, touch and feel it yourself. But to me, I'm more happy if you make the decision that's best for you rather than what's just been presented to you. So I try to give you that non-biased view of them. But of course, if you buy through one of my affiliate links, then that's great. But if you buy something that you want, that you feel good about, then that's better. So for submissions, so I opened this up so that we can create a community of camo pattern reviews and photos from different environments, different patterns and brands, from those of us that are just the average Joe hunter. So my first round of submissions came in, and I've gone ahead and I've applied deer vision to them, at least my simulated deer vision filter, and so we can take a look at them and have a few observations and points about each one of them. So right into that, this submission was sent in by Shane from Florida. He is wearing Asio, and so you can take a look at this photo. Now this is a selfie, and I'd like to jump in and say, the selfies are fine, but for us to really get that good view of what our prey would see, a 20 to 30 yard photo would be best. So having either a timer set up or having your buddy or somebody else take that photo, that is ideal if you really want to see how that is, because that's that critical time frame or that critical distance of when especially a deer is getting into your bow shot range, then that's really when they're going to see you. So that's really the point of which we want to have these photos. But regardless, you send in a selfie, you send in something from 20, 30 yards away, you send it in from 100 yards away, I'll apply my simulated deer vision to it and let everybody see it. So moving on, this is Shane from Florida, and this is his selfie in Asio. This could be a winter, and so we don't know what part of Florida. If it was in the center of Florida or in the northern section of Florida, this could be late fall. But what I'd like to point out with Asio is that their pattern, regardless of deer vision or human vision, looks the same. So that color choice that they've had that's in their pattern is really, it doesn't use that color range that can be viewed one way or the other. How we see it is probably how the deer see it. And now it was designed for bow hunters. It was designed to be in a tree, so it's meant to blend into that tree trunk that you're in. So if you look at how his pattern blends in behind him on that tree, then it does very well. And I think we've got another photo of him in some brighter color. So if you take a look at that, you can see again the pattern doesn't change, but that surrounding background does. So that bright green, when we eliminate that green spectrum that they really don't pick up, then it looks a little bit more or much more yellow. But again, pattern doesn't change. Now, and Shane wrote something that I'd like to share. He says, being in Florida, I bought the lightweight early season gear. The hoodie and pants are both comfortable in 90+ degree weather. Early season pants have 2 pockets on each leg with a flap that hides zippers. So that's a good thing. That's something that people have pointed out on my videos, that when I leave these patterns in there and they've got those zipper outlines that some of these brands have, that kind of stands out. So this is something that Asio has thought about. The crotch of the pants has bird's eye mesh, and the thighs have zippers that open up to bird's eye mesh to help keep you cool. So that's a good thing for a warm weather pant. The pants and hoodie are very quiet, which helps when you are trying to sneak up into your stand or doing a spot and stock. Good to know. Both articles are extremely comfortable, and the camo works extremely well in the right conditions. So those right conditions might be up against a tree when you're in your deer stand. Shane, thanks so much for sending that in. Hope that those pictures of you in deer vision are helpful and helpful to anybody else that might be looking at Asio. and the raptor pattern. So the next photo would be Mo from Virginia. This photo was taken in southeast Virginia in late December. And he says that in the photo he's wearing the 6-color desert camouflage pants. So that would, some of you people call those the chocolate chip pattern. And he's also got the Columbia Ascender jacket, so in stone green. So he's got a solid color jacket. He's got the 6-color desert camouflage pants, and then he's got a blaze vest on, and of course the blaze hat. He doesn't know the brand, but so let's go ahead and show the Deer Vision version. And because he's further away, that blur tends to kick in a little bit more, because they see in about a 2100 vision. So I would say that conversion to Deer Vision really does him well, because he actually sinks into that background a little bit better. And even though he's got that blaze orange on, if you notice that green that's popping through in that tree that's behind him turns to yellow. So his blaze orange almost melts into that background a little bit better. So Mo, thanks for sending that in. I hope that was helpful to you and everyone else. Next one is from David. He was in Alaska and he was wearing Skre Summit. He's got a couple of selfies here, but I want to point out that notice that green that is on his pattern. So here's the human version and then the deer version. Notice that green turns into that yellow. So, when we're looking at two different patterns, I'll note that the Skre, the Solace pattern doesn't have the green in it. They may look very similar side by side in the real world by a deer, subtle differences. So it's something to kind of consider. But if you take a look at how he looks in Deer Vision, that little bit of blur, conversion from green to that yellowish color spectrum, it would it's a pretty good pattern for breaking up your outline of that human shape. So if you're traversing a lot, then this would be a good pattern for you. And of course, he sent in another photo. You take a look at this one, and I'll throw up both. He's got a nice salmon there. He's wearing the same pattern, but if you notice that the blue around him gets absorbed by that UV color that's around, or the UV spectrum that's reflecting off of him. So if you'll notice, a little more blue is showing up in that pattern. That's because those bright colors are reflecting whatever kind of UV rays are around him, and because that blue is around him, it really seems to be picking it up. Just something to be aware of. If you've got something that's got bright colors in it, it's going to be reflecting whatever's around you. So if you've got bright colors around you, that bright color really may stand out a little bit more than a darker color would. And then we've got another photo of David here. Same environment, just a slightly different pose, but you can see how that coloring changes. And specifically, if you look at the arm, you can see that there's a brown and a green in that arm that's pretty clear to look at. But when we convert it to Deer Vision, there's not much difference there. So remember, those greens and browns are something that's very hard for them to distinguish. So we will move on from there. Our next one, it would be from Tim in the Fort Bragg Gameland area. He's wearing Mossy Oak Obsession. And of course, Mossy Oak Obsession is really designed more for turkey. And in this photo, he's clearly turkey hunting. He's backed up against a tree. He's submerged in that green. And I would say it does very well. As far as it being good for Deer Vision, we'll go to his next photo. So those are his two. There's the one that's in Deer Vision. We'll go to the next one. And this is a conversion to Deer Vision, and it's going to blur it up a little bit more. And the blur with a very intricate pattern that's almost like a printing of a nature scene. So if you've got branches and leaves, that blur, unless you're submersed in that same kind of background, it may just give you that outline of a human blob. So something to be considered with. But now with turkeys and birds, they have much sharper color really a broader color spectrum than we do and sharper vision, so they can really pick up those patterns from a long way away. So, you know, when you're turkey hunting, you may want to be a little more specific to the background that you're going to be in with the foreground, as opposed to hunting deer, where their vision isn't nearly as acute as, or not even close to what a turkey's is, but and that color spectrum that they see is going to be much different. So with give you an idea, a blackbird to a bird may not be black. It'll actually have a number of different UV colors in there that we just can't seem to pick up. So it's a good thing to think about when you're deer hunting versus turkey hunting or bird hunting, that you're going to stand out a little bit differently with different colors than you would on either end of those two types of hunting. So those are the ones that I had submitted. Thanks again, guys, for sending those in. Anybody that wants to send their camo photos or videos in can visit camomatrix.com/sendcamo. That link right there. Just be sure to include the camo, the area you're in, the time of year, and any other information that you might want to include that would help out other hunters. And selfies are okay, and I'll convert those, but it's best if they're from about 20 to 30 yards away. So thanks for watching, guys. Remember that really the best camo is to remain still and be quiet. See you soon.